I've been lying to my wife for 12 years about what I actually do for work, and last week she found out everything. When Sarah and I got married, I was a junior accountant making okay money, not great. We wanted kids, a house, a good life. I wanted to give her that, but I also wanted more than what I was making. So I started doing side work, cash jobs, helping people move money around. Nothing totally illegal at first, but definitely not clean. Over time, it got worse. I moved into helping clients hide assets and divorces, setting up fake accounts, that kind of thing. The money was crazy good, like really good. I told Sarah I got promoted, got better at my real job, started working longer hours. She never questioned it because the money kept coming in. We bought a house in a nice area. She could stay home with our kids. We took vacations. Everything looked perfect from the outside. But I was terrified every single day. I'd come home and look at her face and feel sick. She'd ask about my day, and I'd make up stories about meetings and clients that didn't exist. Our kids would ask what daddy does, and I'd give them some fake answer. I started drinking more, sleeping less. I couldn't enjoy any of it because I was always waiting for it to fall apart. Last Tuesday, Sarah got a call from a tax agent. He wanted to meet with us about some concerns regarding our income. My heart just stopped. I knew it was over. I didn't tell her anything before the meeting. I just sat next to her in that office while this agent laid it all out. The fake accounts, the money sources, everything. Sarah's face went white. I could see her trying to understand what she was hearing. When we got home, she didn't yell. That would have been easier. Instead, she just sat at the kitchen table and cried. Real, quiet tears. How long? She asked. 12 years, I said. She looked at me like I was a stranger. We have been married for 12 years, Michael. That's our entire marriage. That's our whole life together. I know. No, you don't know. You don't get it. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you. Everything was a lie. Sarah, I did it for us, for the kids. She laughed, but there was no joy in it. You did it for you. You wanted to feel important. You wanted the money and the nice things, and you made me live a life based on lies. I tried to reach for her hand and she pulled away. Don't touch me. I can't even look at you right now. The next day she called a lawyer, not to talk about working things out, to talk about divorce. The agent told us there would be an investigation. There might be charges. Our assets could get frozen. Everything I built could go away. But the worst part isn't the legal stuff. It's that Sarah won't even speak to me now. Not real words anyway. Just logistics about the kids and the house. She looks at me with this broken expression like I killed something inside her. Our daughter asked why mommy looks sad all the time. I couldn't answer her. I got what I wanted. The money, the house, the nice life. But I lost my wife in the process. And the crazy thing is I knew the whole time that this was coming. I just kept lying anyway. I kept choosing the lie over her. And now she's gone. Not physically yet, but she's gone. I can see it in her eyes. She doesn't trust me. She doesn't love me. She's just waiting for the divorce to be final so she can leave. I destroyed the one person who actually believed in me. And I did it on purpose. One lie at a time. My boss sent out a company-wide memo saying everyone had to log their time in 15-minute blocks or face write-ups. I took it literally. Let me back up. I worked at a marketing firm called Bright Ideas for 3 years. My boss was this guy named Derek, and he was the kind of manager who micromanaged everything. He'd walk around the office checking on people, asking why they were taking a coffee break at 10:47 instead of 10:30. He'd call meetings about meetings. It was exhausting. About 6 months before this happened, Derek became obsessed with productivity. He kept saying the company was bleeding money and we weren't working hard enough. He'd say things like, I don't know where the day goes. I see you all sitting here, but I don't see the work. None of it made sense because our team had won 3 new clients that year and brought in more money than ever. Then came the memo. It was March 15th, a Monday. Derek sent it out at 8:30 a.m. to everyone. It said, effective immediately, all staff must log their time in 15-minute increments in the new tracking system. Every 15 minutes you log what you did, no exceptions. Anyone who fails to do this will receive a written warning. This is non-negotiable. I read it twice. I showed my coworker Sarah. She was like, this is insane. How are we supposed to log every 15 minutes? When do we actually work? But I had a different idea. I decided to follow the rule exactly as written. The next morning, I logged into the system at 8 a.m. sharp. Then I started logging. 8 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. Logged into computer, started email. 8:15 to 8:30 a.m. Read emails, responded to one from accounting. 8:30 to 8:45 a.m. Opened project file for Henderson account. 8:45 to 9 a.m. Reviewed Henderson brief, took notes. 9 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. Walked to bathroom, used bathroom, washed hands. 9:15 to 9:30 a.m. Walked back to desk, got water. I did this for every single 15-minute block, all day, for a week straight. By Thursday, Derek called me into his office. He looked confused and angry at the same time. What are you doing with these logs, he asked. Following your memo, I said. You said log every 15 minutes, that's what I'm doing. You're logging bathroom breaks. You're logging walking to the water cooler. Yes, that's what I did during those 15 minutes. This isn't what I meant, he said. With respect, sir, you said every 15 minutes, no exceptions. That's what the memo said. He stared at me. Just be reasonable. I'm following the policy you created, I said. Derek told me to leave. I could see his jaw was clenched. But here's the thing. Sarah saw what I was doing and started doing it too. Then another guy on the team named Marcus. Then everyone. The entire tracking system was filled with bathroom breaks, walking times, water breaks, and lunch details. Every single staff member was logging exactly what they did in 15-minute blocks. By Friday, Derek sent out an all-hands meeting. He looked exhausted. His face was red. The new time tracking system is not working as intended, he announced. Effective immediately, we're going back to the old system. You'll log your time once at the end of the day. That's it. We're done with this. Sarah bit her lip to stop from smiling. Marcus was looking at his shoes. But Derek wasn't done. He looked right at me. And I don't appreciate the attitude, he said. You knew what I meant. I followed your memo exactly, I said. You said no exceptions. That afternoon Derek called HR and tried to write me up for insubordination. But HR looked at the memo, they looked at my logs, they looked at everyone's logs. HR told Derek that we had done exactly what he asked, and that he couldn't punish us for following his own policy. Derek was furious, but it got worse for him. Word got around the office. People started laughing about it. Then other people in the company heard about it. 2 weeks later, the company's owner called Derek into her office. I don't know what happened in there, but Derek came out looking shaken. A month later, Derek was fired. The official reason was poor management decisions and creating an unsustainable work environment. But everyone knew what really happened. He'd lost the trust of his team and the respect of his boss. I still work at Bright Ideas. The new manager is actually decent. And whenever anyone brings up tracking time or micromanaging, I just smile and say, "Remember Derek?" I've been lying about my brother's death for 15 years, and last month my mom found out he's alive. Let me back up. My brother Jake was always the golden child, 4 years older than me, straight A's, full ride to college, the whole thing. I was the middle kid, not bad, just there. And Jake, he made sure I knew it. When I was 16, Jake came home from college acting different, angry all the time. He was using pills, like, a lot. My parents didn't see it at first, but I did. I'd find empty bottles in his room. He'd steal money from my mom's purse. One time he hit me in the face because I wouldn't give him my ATM card. Then one night when I was 17, Jake overdosed in his car in a parking lot downtown. My parents found him. It destroyed them. They fell apart. My dad started drinking. My mom couldn't leave the house for months. Here's the thing though. Jake didn't die. The overdose was real, but he survived. He woke up in the hospital with my parents sitting there. And when he did, my mom made a choice. She couldn't handle what he'd become. The stealing, the anger, the drugs. She looked at my dad and said she couldn't do this anymore. So they told everyone he died. They had a funeral. They buried an empty casket. And they paid Jake to stay gone. They gave him money and he left. Moved to Arizona. Changed his phone number. Completely disappeared. And they told me I could never tell anyone. My parents said it was kinder this way. A dead son was easier to grieve than a living one who'd chosen drugs over his family. People brought casseroles. They said nice things. Jake became this angel in everyone's memory instead of the person who was tearing our family apart. I went along with it. What choice did I have? I was 17 years old, and my parents made it clear this was the family secret, so I lived it. For 15 years I told people my brother died. I told my friends. I told my boyfriend. I told my college roommates. I told my boss. Every single time it felt like a knife in my chest. I got married last year. My husband has no idea the truth. When Jake's name came up, I told him the story we all tell. Jake died at 19 from an overdose. A tragedy. A loss. My husband felt bad for me. He was kind about it. And I hated myself. 2 months ago my mom called me. She sounded scared. Jake had reached out. He was in bad shape. Homeless. Sick. Wanted to come home. My mom said she couldn't keep lying. She wanted to tell people the truth. That Jake had been alive this whole time. I lost it. Are you insane? I said. Do you understand what that means? Everyone will know we lied. Everyone will know what Jake is. Everyone will know what we let happen. He's our son, my mom said. He was a thief and an addict, I said. And you made me help cover it up for 15 years. We didn't talk for 3 weeks. Then Jake showed up at my house. He looked nothing like I remembered. Worn out, maybe 40 years old, but looking 60. He stood on my porch and asked if we could talk. I let him in because I didn't know what else to do. I'm sorry, he said. I'm sorry for what I put you through. I'm sorry for everything. I wanted to scream at him. I wanted to tell him what his choices cost me, how many times I'd told that lie, how it felt like carrying a dead body around. But when I looked at him, I just saw someone broken. I told my husband, I said. I told him the truth yesterday. He's angry. He feels like our whole marriage is a lie. I know, Jake said. I'm sorry. Last week my mom came clean to her church group, to her friends, to everyone. She said Jake had struggled with addiction and that he needed help, and she'd made a mistake trying to hide it. Some people were understanding. Some people felt betrayed. My husband is still processing it. He said lying about something this big makes him question what else I might be hiding. I don't know what happens now. Jake's in treatment. My parents are trying to rebuild their relationship with him, and I'm sitting with 15 years of guilt that I helped create and maintain. I'm not even sure who I'm confessing to anymore. Jake, my family, myself. All I know is that the lie is finally over, and the truth is worse than the lie ever was. My boss sent a company-wide email saying phone breaks were banned during work hours, so I started logging every single second I spent on work tasks instead. Let me back up. I work as a project manager at a mid-sized tech company in Austin. My boss is this guy named Derek, and he's the type of manager who thinks being tough means being annoying. We're a team of 8 people, and Derek has this weird thing where he walks around the office checking if anyone is on their phone. For months, people would take quick 5-minute breaks to check texts or scroll social media. Nothing crazy. Everyone does it. But Derek started getting upset about it. He'd send passive-aggressive emails like, I noticed several team members on personal devices during work hours, and we need to focus on productivity. Then one Monday morning, the email came. Subject line, phone policy effective immediately. Derek wrote that any phone use during work hours was banned. Not allowed. Not even for emergencies. He said people needed to check phones during lunch or after 5 p.m. Period. My coworker Maya said, this is insane. What if my kid's school calls? Another guy, James, just laughed. He's lost it. I didn't say anything. I just started thinking. See, Derek's email was really specific. It said phone breaks are banned. It didn't say anything about tracking our actual work time. It didn't say we had to be productive every single minute. It just said no phones. So I decided to follow the rules. Perfectly. The next day I started a spreadsheet. Every task I did, I logged it. Email to client, 14 minutes. Meeting with Derek, 8 minutes. Updating project documents, 22 minutes. Waiting for Derek to respond to my message, 31 minutes. Thinking about the next step, 18 minutes. Staring at my computer while I wait for someone else to send me information, 26 minutes. I tracked everything, and I mean everything. After 2 weeks of this, I had a detailed log of how I spent every hour of my day. The results were interesting. Out of my 8-hour workday, I was actually doing focused work tasks for about 4 hours. The rest was waiting, thinking, meetings, or downtime that was just part of the job. I printed it out, 20 pages of documentation. Then I sent Derek an email. Hi Derek, per your new phone policy, I've been tracking my time to make sure I'm maximizing productivity. I've attached my detailed breakdown of how I spend each day. Wanted to share this with you so you can see where my time actually goes. Let me know if you'd like me to continue logging my day this way. He called me into his office the next morning. He looked confused. What is this? He said, holding the papers. My time log. You asked us to focus on productivity. I'm showing you exactly what I'm productive on and when. This is not what I meant. You said no phone breaks. I'm not taking them. I'm just tracking what I'm doing instead. I'm following your policy. Derek's face got red. This is ridiculous. You're wasting time on this spreadsheet. I'm logging it as administrative work. It takes about an hour a day to track everything, but it shows exactly how I'm spending my time. You wanted to know where the problem was. Now you know. He told me to stop, but here's the thing. I'd already sent the time log to the whole team as a template. Within 2 days, everyone else started doing it. 8 detailed spreadsheets showing that most of our day wasn't actually spent on billable work tasks. Then the company's finance person asked Derek why he suddenly wanted time tracking data. Turns out, the owner of the company saw the spreadsheets and realized that his team was only doing about 4 hours of actual work per day. That's a huge problem when you're billing clients. Derek got called into a meeting with the owner. He came back looking sick. The next day, Derek sent out a new email. Phone break policy is suspended. Employees may take brief personal breaks as needed. He never mentioned the time tracking, but everyone knew what happened. 2 months later, Derek left the company. The owner brought in a new manager who actually understood how work works. And yeah, I still have that spreadsheet, just in case. My wife confessed she's been sleeping with my dad for 3 years, and it only came out because my mom found texts. I'm 34. My wife Sarah is 31. We've been married for 8 years. My parents live about 40 minutes away, and we see them pretty often. My dad is 62, still fit, runs his own business. My mom is 60, and works as a nurse. This all started about a week ago. My mom called me on a Thursday afternoon. She sounded weird, quiet. She said she needed to talk to me in person, and it couldn't wait. I knew something was wrong. I went to their house. My mom was sitting at the kitchen table with her phone in her hand. She didn't even say hello. She just slid the phone across to me. There were text messages. Between Sarah and my dad. Sexual ones. Explicit ones. Talking about meeting up at a hotel on Wake Street. Talking about how much they missed each other. Talking about how risky it was, but how they couldn't stop. I couldn't breathe. I read them 3 times thinking maybe I was misreading. But no, it was real. My mom said she found them because my dad left his phone on the counter when he went to take a shower. She was looking for the Wi-Fi password. I drove home in a daze. I don't even remember the drive. Sarah was making dinner when I walked in. She took one look at my face, and she knew. I didn't say anything. I just put the phone on the counter. She went pale. Actually pale. Like all the blood drained from her face. She sat down. How long? I asked. Mark, I can explain. How long? 3 years. 3 years. Our anniversary was last month. We went to dinner. She wore the dress I bought her. She told me she loved me. Why? I said. She started crying. I don't know. It just happened. He was helping me with work stuff. And then one day we went to lunch, and it just happened. And then I couldn't stop. I was so ashamed. Ashamed? Sarah, you've been lying to my face for 3 years. You've been sleeping with my father. I know how it sounds. Do you? Do you actually know? Do you understand what you've done to me, to my mom, to our marriage? She couldn't answer. She just cried harder. How many times? I asked. I can't. How many times? Hundreds, maybe more. I stopped counting. I left. I packed a bag and went to my brother's house. I didn't even know what to say to her. My brother let me stay in his guest room. The next day my dad called me. He actually called me, like we were just going to talk about this like 2 normal people. Mark, your mother is upset. We need to fix this. Fix this? You've been sleeping with my wife for 3 years. There's nothing to fix. It's not that simple. It's actually that simple, Dad. You betrayed me. She betrayed me. Both of you, at the same time, for years. He tried to say something else, but I hung up. I called a divorce lawyer 2 days later. Sarah has been texting me, nonstop, saying she made a mistake, saying it meant nothing, saying she loves me, saying we can go to therapy. But here's the thing. 3 years is not a mistake. 3 years is a choice. Every time she went out, she chose to lie to me. Every time she came home, she chose to kiss me. Every time we had sex, she was fresh off being with my father. I filed for divorce last week. Sarah's parents hired her a lawyer. My dad tried to call me again, but I blocked him. My mom moved in with my aunt for now. She's filing for divorce too. The lawyers are working on the settlement now. Sarah wants to keep the house. I told my lawyer I don't care about the house. I don't care about anything, except making sure this is over. My wife of 8 years told me she's never loved me, right before her lawyer demanded half of everything we built together. Let me back up. Sarah and I got married when we were both 23. We met in college, dated for 3 years, got engaged at a beach in California. Everything felt right, or at least I thought it did. We bought a house together in Portland. Small place, nothing fancy, but it was ours. I worked in software development. She was a graphic designer. We made decent money, not rich but comfortable. We talked about kids someday. We had plans. But around year 6, things got cold. Not in a big dramatic way, just quiet. She stopped laughing at my jokes. We stopped having sex. When I tried to talk about it, she'd say she was just stressed with work. I believed her. I tried harder. I planned dates. I did more around the house. Nothing worked. Then last month I found messages on her laptop. She'd left it open on the couch. Messages between her and someone named David, a coworker. Not explicit, but close enough. Flirty. Personal. Months of them. I felt like someone punched me in the stomach. I didn't say anything that night. I just sat there, staring at the screen, trying to figure out what to do. The next morning I asked her directly, "Sarah, what's going on with David?" She went pale, just completely white, and then she sat down on the kitchen counter and started crying. "I can't do this anymore," she said. "Do what?" "This, us, any of it." I asked her if she was in love with David. She shook her head. "Then what is this?" She looked at me like she felt sorry for me. And that's when she said it. "I've never been in love with you. I don't think I ever was. There's a moment in your life where everything you thought was real just breaks." That was mine. "What are you talking about?" I said. "We've been married for 8 years. We have a house. We have a life." "I know," she said quietly, "and I'm sorry, but I was young when we met. I thought I loved you. I thought that's what love was supposed to feel like. But it wasn't. It was just comfortable, safe. And then it stopped even being that. I couldn't breathe. So what now?" I asked. "I want a divorce." I told her she needed to leave. She packed a bag and went to stay with her sister. I thought we could talk about this. Maybe therapy. Maybe something. 3 days later, her lawyer sent me paperwork. She was asking for half the house, half our savings, half the equity in my 401k. 50-50 split. Clean break. I called her. "Sarah, you're asking for half of everything we own." "That's how divorce works," she said. "You just told me you never loved me. You've been cheating on me, and you want half of everything?" "I don't care if I loved you or not. We're married. I contributed to this life too." "You contributed to it by lying for 8 years?" "My lawyer says I'm entitled to it. So that's what I'm asking for." I hung up. That was 2 weeks ago. My lawyer explained that she actually is entitled to a lot of it. Community property state. Doesn't matter that she lied or cheated. Doesn't matter that she destroyed my entire sense of reality. The law doesn't care about feelings. We're going to trial in 3 months. I'm going to lose $500,000 to a woman who admitted she never loved me. And the worst part? I keep thinking about all those years. All those nights I thought we were building something real. All those times I told her I loved her, and she just let me. I asked my lawyer if the affair changes anything. He said probably not. She's not leaving for David. She's leaving because she was never happy. That's not legally relevant. So here I am, 31 years old, getting divorced from someone who never loved me, losing half my money, and there's nothing I can do about it. A parent at my daughter's school demanded I pay $15,000 for her son's birthday party because my kid was invited. Let me back up. My daughter Emma is 9 years old. She goes to Lincoln Elementary in our town. About 3 weeks ago, she came home with a birthday invitation from a kid named Tyler in her class. Tyler's mom is named Sandra, and Sandra is someone I'd heard about but never actually met. The invitation was fancy, like really fancy. Gold lettering on thick cardstock. It said Tyler was turning 10 and wanted to celebrate at this place called Elite Adventures, which is an indoor theme park about 40 minutes away. The invite said the party would be 5 hours long, and it included food, activities, arcade tokens, and a special VIP room for cake. I didn't think much of it. Emma wanted to go. I said yes. I bought a gift from the list they included, a $30 video game. I thought that was normal. Then I got the email. It was from Sandra. The subject line said party cost breakdown. She wrote that since there would be 15 kids at the party and the total cost was $2,250, each parent needed to split the cost. That came to $150 per kid. I read it twice. $150 for a birthday party I didn't throw? I emailed her back. I said, I appreciate the invite, but I'm not comfortable paying that much. Emma is happy to attend, but I can't contribute to the party costs. That's something the birthday parents usually cover. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. Sandra called me the next day, at work. My boss was in the next room. "Hi, this is Sandra," she said. "I got your email about the party cost. I need to talk to you about your response." "Okay," I said. "What's up?" "Well, your daughter is invited and she's going to enjoy everything at this party. The games, the food, the activities, all of that costs money. I think it's only fair that you help pay for it." "I understand it costs money," I said. "But that's something you and Tyler's dad should cover as parents. I'm happy to bring a gift and let Emma attend, but I can't pay for party expenses." She got quiet for a second. "That's not how it works anymore," she said. "Parents contribute. That's just what you do. Emma is using the arcade tokens. She's eating the food, the activities. You're benefiting from my party planning." "I appreciate the effort you put in," I said, "but I'm not paying $150. "Then Emma can't come," Sandra said. I was shocked. "You're uninviting her because I won't pay?" "I'm saying if you can't contribute, there's no point in her being there. I'm not running a free service for kids whose parents don't participate." I told her I'd think about it and hung up. I called my husband that night and told him what happened. He was angry. I sent Sandra an email saying Emma wouldn't be attending. Sandra didn't respond to that email, but she did something worse. 3 days later, I got a call from the school principal. She said she'd received a complaint from Sandra, saying I was being unfair and unwilling to help my child's friend. Sandra had asked the principal to intervene and convince me to pay. The principal told me she'd explained to Sandra that the school couldn't get involved in party costs, but she wanted me to know the complaint had been made. I was furious. I requested a meeting with Sandra and the principal. When we sat down in the principal's office, Sandra started talking before I even sat down. "I just think it's sad that some parents don't value their kids' friendships," she said. "Emma and Tyler are friends. A good parent would help celebrate that." A good parent also teaches their kid that other people aren't responsible for paying for their parties, I said. That's on you and your husband. Well, we have a lot of expenses, Sandra said. We're paying for the venue, the food, the tokens. That's a lot to cover alone. Then maybe don't throw a $2,000 party, I said. Throw something smaller, invite fewer kids, do something at your house, but don't invite 15 kids and then demand their parents pay for it. The principal stepped in and said the school wouldn't be getting involved further. Here's where it gets good though. 2 weeks later, I found out that 6 other parents had done exactly what I did. They'd all gotten the same demand. They'd all said no. And apparently, most of them had also complained to the principal. Turns out Sandra had tried this before at her last kid's school and had gotten complaints there too. The principal looked into it and found out she'd done this 3 years in a row. The principal sent out a district email to all parents saying that schools cannot be used to settle party cost disputes, and that parents should never demand other parents pay for their child's birthday party. Sandra's name wasn't in the email, but everyone at the school knew who it was about. Emma still goes to school with Tyler.